Is there anything better than a nice soft bun? I don't know. In my books, well, maybe this one. A nice soft bun stuffed with a tasty potato and chicken filling. Oh, you guys, you're gonna love this one. So to kick things off, I'm gonna start with 2 tablespoons of melted butter because butter makes the world better. That's my motto, and I stand by it. To that, I added some cubed chicken breast, some dana jeera, a little garlic, and some sliced ginger. My ginger's looking good though. So dana jeera, by the way, is just coriander and cumin powder. I also added a little water to that, not too much, just enough to cover it halfway, and some salt. You want to bring this to a boil until the chicken, and cook until the chicken is nice and soft and easy to cut. Don't wash that pan. We're going to be using the same pan. And I added some butter, and I used a chopper to just chop 2 onions because I didn't feel like cutting it by hand. To that I added some garlic as well, and you want to give it a nice mix. The reason we didn't wash the pan is there's so much flavor in there, and you're going to lose it if you wash it, so you must keep the flavor. Okay, we're cooking this for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then bring back your chicken. I've shredded the chicken here, just roughly. You can put it in a food chopper and just let it go. It's so much easier. And then I'm adding some carrots, potatoes, and green peas. Yes, that's the word. Are there any cucuys in here? Please raise your hand if you are, because I know right now you're so happy. I want to read the moshene down in the comments. Okay, so then we just mix it up. And I'm now going to add some more dana jeera and some cut peppers in case you want. You don't have to. That's entirely your choice. You can even add some fresh chili. It tastes really nice with chili. I added about a teaspoon of salt, but be sure to taste for the salt level. You might need less or more depending on what you love. At that point, I decided to add some lime because I wanted a nice zing. So I then added my coriander after cooking this for 5 minutes, and I didn't even like chop it up. I just plucked it off the plant and just threw it in there, and it looks nice and rustic. So you want to take your mixture and just set it aside so that it can cool completely. By the way, I can eat this on its own. It's so good. So now for the bread dough, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of melted butter. You can even add 4, by the way, and get away with it. It's still okay. And then you want to crack open 1 egg. And I'm adding coconut milk today, about a half a cup of it. And I'm just using the paddle attachment today. You want to just mix everything until the egg breaks up and everything is well blended in. And you can do this by hand using a whisk, by the way. I'm just being lazy as per usual around here. So once it's all mixed, just put your mixer off, open it up, and then I'm going to add some raw sugar, about 2.5 tablespoons, and 1.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. And then you want to mix it up again, like that. So easy so far. And this brings us now to the last step. It's such an easy dough to make. I'm now adding all-purpose flour, and for this recipe you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Give it another good mix and let everything come together. The dough is still going to have a bit of a tackiness to it, like it'll be slightly sticky, but manageable. I also decided last minute to just throw in some dhania. Again, this time I did chop it up slightly, so not entirely bad. So now at this point you just want to take your dough out of the bowl, just bring it together, and it's really easy to work with. It's got a nice elastic feel to it. So just take it together, get it out of the bowl, form a nice ball, and then chuck it back into the bowl. And bowl. Hey. So at this point you want to cover it and let it rise for about 1 hour. And you can even put your pan that you had cooked with on top because it's still nice and warm, so it'll help your dough rise. And by the way, if you put water into this mix here in the pan, you get a nice soup. So let's not waste the good bits. So an hour later, my dough is risen and she's looking pretty. Very nice, like a cloud. So to make the buns, you just want to get a little dough, just pinch off a little dough and shape a disc, and then get about a tablespoon of the mixture, maybe even a tablespoon and a half of the mixture, and then just put it in the center and bring all the sides together to close it. Make sure you close it well so that it doesn't open up though when you're baking it, so definitely twist it well. So I'm going to show you once again how I did it, and again, This dough is so easy to work with. It's so nice and soft. So you put your mixture in the middle, and then you bring all the sides together like that. Very, very simple. There's really nothing hard. If you have kids, just put them to work, which makes your life even easier. Okay, so you want to repeat with the rest of the dough until you've used up all your dough. And you could even add some cheese to some of them inside, by the way. That's a nice side note. So I've got some butter, and to the butter I'd added about a half a teaspoon of minced garlic. And you just want to brush the butter onto your buns gently. And then if you like, you can add some Doritos. We all know I'm the queen of Doritos here. So I just added some onions, some sweet peppers, some coriander, and a little sim as well. I think it looks pretty that way. And now you want to cover it and let it rise a second time for about 30 minutes. They'll plump up really nicely. And at this point, you can bake it in a 200-degree oven for about 13 minutes. There we go. Now, they're not very glossy. So in case you really want them glossy, you could use an egg wash before, but I prefer to just have them like this. I didn't want them to have a very eggy taste. So I just brushed on some butter in the end, and I put a kitchen towel, and you let them cool down. When they're cool, then now you can just dig in. And if you have a nice pili on the side, yeah, I don't even need to tell you how good it is. Or even just a lime. You just take some lime and you pour it in there. It's so incredible. Please give this recipe a try, and if you do, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear back from you. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!